Watching this iron beast rise from the dust reminds us that true strength is built to conquer the harshest elements on God's earth. Before that heavy lifter takes to the skies, it starts right here in the quiet stillness of a clean and mighty manufacturing floor. Sharp lasers cut through cold steel with a fiery passion, while smart engineers design every single curve to ensure absolute perfection in flight. You just have to admire the sheer scale of this operation, where hardworking folks and massive machines come together to build something truly legendary. A steady hand and a keen eye check every single tooth on this gear, because we know that failure is simply never an option. We take these raw blocks of heavy metal and transform them into intricate masterpieces that will one day carry our boys home safely. There is a special kind of magic in the heat and steam as we forge raw strength into a shape that lasts forever. Inside these sterile rooms, we treat every single component with the utmost care, wrapping them up tight to protect the integrity of the build. Listen to the song of progress as high-speed drills carve through solid steel, washing away the excess to reveal the hidden strength within. We use the finest lasers to measure every inch because close enough just does not cut it when lives are on the line upstairs. This 5-axis machine dances around the titanium like a partner at a hoedown, carving out complex shapes that defy the laws of nature. It takes a whole lot of grit and coolant to cut through this tough alloy, but our tools are sharper than attack. Our experts inspect these hubs with a level of pride that you usually only see when a father looks at his newborn child. Every single rotation of the machine brings us one step closer to engineering excellence, turning simple metal into a work of pure aviation art. We coat these internal ribs with a protective layer to ensure they can withstand the rigorous demands of flight without ever breaking a sweat. Whether it is a robot arm spraying or a steady hand heating every step in this process is executed with absolute deliberate precision. Watching that massive gear cluster drop into place is as satisfying as hitting a grand slam in the bottom of the 9th inning. We tighten every bolt with elbow grease and determination, ensuring that this machine holds together through the roughest storms and the hardest landings. Even the robots here work with a southern charm, moving with a rhythm that ensures every single part is exactly where it belongs. When that heavy cover lifts up, it reveals the intricate heart of a beast that is ready to wake up and start roaring. Watching that automated cart move a massive engine across the floor is like seeing the future roll in on a quiet Sunday morning drive. We keep those cutters cool and wet as they slice through the metal carving out a rotor hub that is built for heavy lifting. It takes a steady hand and a whole lot of patience to polish these shafts until they shine brighter than a new silver dollar. When we fire up the test rig, you can feel the raw power vibrating through the floorboards like a stampede of wild horses running. Every colored wire and hydraulic line is connected with care because we know this machine needs good circulation to keep its heart beating strong. Golden oil flows through these veins like lifeblood, monitored by the sharpest minds who ensure everything runs smoother than molasses in the summertime. Watching that gearbox spin at full speed is a sight to behold, proving that American engineering can handle just about anything you throw at it. We button up the front with a protective cover, making sure every screw is tight so this bird is ready for the long haul. This factory floor is a symphony of motion where automated carts glide silently like ghosts to deliver parts exactly where they are needed most. Sparks fly like fireworks on the 4th of July as our robots weld the frame together with a bond that will never ever break. Seeing that massive aluminum frame lifted high into the air makes you appreciate the strength and backbone that goes into every single helicopter build. That riveting machine punches through metal with a steady rhythm, stitching the skin of this aircraft together tighter than a pair of leather boots. A whole team of yellow robots works in perfect harmony to drill the tail section, proving that teamwork makes the dream work every time. Whether we are drilling deep inside the frame or laying down soft carbon fiber sheets, every job requires a steady hand and focused mind. We smooth out the fabric and roll it into the giant oven where heat and pressure bake strength right into the very material itself. When that heavy vault door seals shut, we know we are cooking up something tough enough to handle the wildest skies over the horizon. These robots work tirelessly on the nose section, drilling and cutting with a precision that no human hand could ever hope to match perfectly, as we use high-tech laser scanners to check the surface, ensuring that every inch of this bird is as smooth as a calm lake surface. Applying sealant to the seams is a messy job, but it is essential for keeping the weather out and the comfort locked inside tight. Watching those heavy fuel pods glide across the floor on automated carts is a reminder that we are moving forward into a brighter future. That yellow arm grabs onto the smooth panel with a grip tight enough to hold on through a West Texas tornado without letting go. It takes steady nerves to guide that heavy steel into place, trusting the crane in your own 2 hands to get the job done. Wrestling this fuel bladder into the bay is tough work, but our folks have the muscle to push it home where it belongs. We tighten every bolt until it clicks and use lasers to check the lines because straight and true is the only way we fly. You can hear the rattle of the impact wrench driving bolts deep, securing the skeleton of this machine for the rough rides ahead. Seeing those twin engines hanging in the air is like looking at the heart and soul of a champion ready to be installed. The robot slides that powerhouse engine into its cradle with a gentleness that surprises you considering the raw horsepower resting inside that metal. A little adjustment here and a tightening there ensures that everything lines up perfectly. Just like tuning a fiddle before the big dance. Lowering the main transmission is a heavy moment, placing the crown jewel right on top of the King Stallion where it rightly belongs. Our technicians reach in deep to bolt the drive shaft connecting the power to the rotors so this bird can finally take to flight. Bringing the tail section around is a massive job, completing the silhouette of a helicopter that is built to dominate the open skies. We bolt the tail on tight and secure the drive shaft, ensuring that the rear rotor spins true when the pilot calls for action. You have to wipe that chrome piston until it gleams like a mirror because dirt is the enemy of a smooth and safe landing. Fitting the collar requires a precise touch, locking the landing gear components together so they can handle the weight of a heavy touchdown. We blast the cargo floor with high-pressure steam, cleaning every nook and cranny so this workhorse is fresh and ready for duty. The drill bites into the floor beam with a growl, making space for the fasteners that will hold everything down during the flight. Rolling out these thick rubber mats gives the cargo hold a tough skin, ready to carry troops or supplies anywhere they are needed. Inside the quiet room, we smooth out the black fabric with a gentle touch, crafting a blade that is lighter than air itself. This long machine travels down the mold, applying pressure to create a rotor blade that spans wider than a Texas Longhorn steer's horns. A steady beat of sealant keeps the engine cowling tight, protecting the vital machinery inside from the dust and rain of the frontier. He fits that titanium exhaust duct like a puzzle piece, bolting it down tight so the engine can breathe fire without a hitch. She snaps that nose panel into place with confidence, locking the latches to ensure the sensitive electronics underneath stay safe and sound forever. It takes 2 strong backs to slide that heavy avionics box into the rack, pushing until it clicks home like a deadbolt lock. He puts his whole weight into that wrench, tightening the massive nut on the rotor mast because safety depends on strength and leverage. Seeing the whole fuselage float through the air on a crane is a reminder of the sheer weight and power we are building. We spray the core with a fine mist of adhesive, preparing the inside of the blade to bond together stronger than iron itself. Rolling out the carbon fiber removes every air bubble, ensuring the skin of the rotor is as smooth and tough as polished onyx. This automated machine lays down tape with robotic precision, building up the layers that give our blades their incredible lift and durability. The blade passes through the scanner like a patient in a doctor's office, checking deep inside for any tiny flaw or hidden weakness. A green wireframe on the screen tells the story, confirming that our blade is structurally sound and ready to slice through the clouds. Watch that long black blade glide through the factory, a masterpiece of composite engineering destined to lift heavy loads to the heavens above. With tweezers and patience, he places the tiny patches, perfectly proving that even the biggest machines rely on the smallest, most careful details. They lift the heavy glass windshield together, fitting the eyes of the beast so the pilots can see clearly on their missions ahead. We press the soundproofing into the walls to keep the roar of the engines down, making the ride smoother for the crew inside. Organizing this tangled web of colorful wires is an art form, ensuring that every signal gets exactly where it needs to go fast. He slides the glass screen into the dashboard until it snaps in, bringing the cockpit to life with the glow of modern technology. The robot arm reaches into tight spaces where no hand fits, placing parts with a delicate touch that belies its mechanical strength. Installing the cyclic stick connects the pilot to the machine, forging a bond between human hands and the power of flight control surfaces. We check every circuit with a multimeter because a single loose connection can mean the difference between a successful mission and a problem. The pilot tests the stick, feeling the smooth response of the controls as he prepares to command this bird through the open sky. Folding this thick blanket takes some muscle, but keeping the heat and noise out is worth every ounce of sweat we pour in. We test these breakers with a steady hand because electricity is the invisible lifeblood that keeps our systems running smooth and staying true. Bolting the sensor eye onto the nose gives our pilots the vision they need to see through the darkest nights and wildest storms. Putting together the tip of this refueling probe means our birds can drink from the sky and fly further than ever before. A turn of the wrench on these pitch links ensures that the blades bite the air exactly right when it is time to fly. You can feel the excitement build as those massive engines spool up and the giant blades begin their slow, powerful dance around. Even with the world spinning around him, this tech takes a quiet moment to wipe the glass clear for a perfect view ahead. We tow this heavy beast out into the fresh air, its blades folded back like a resting eagle waiting for the sunrise. Walking alongside the fuselage allows us to check every inch one last time, making sure she is fit for the journey ahead. He leans his weight into that big wrench, locking down the rotor shaft bolt with a strength that you can truly rely on. We wrap the blade root in a protective cuff to keep the joint safe from the grit and grime of the airfield. It takes a whole crew working in perfect sync to lift that long black blade and slot it home into the steel hub. We wiggle the parts and insert the safety pins, double checking our work so the pilot can trust his life to this machine. Inside the cockpit, the pilot taps through the green screens, confirming that every system is awake and ready for the mission ahead. Watching that complex hub spin up into a blur creates a mechanical symphony that sounds just like freedom ringing in your ears. Dust flies and the ground shakes as the King Stallion finally breaks the surly bonds of Earth to climb into the blue sky. Looking down through the glass at the runway below gives you a view that only a few lucky souls ever get to see. She hovers there steady as a rock in a river, defying gravity with a raw power that you can feel in your chest. After a good flight, she rolls back on her heavy tires, the blade slowing down as the mission comes to a successful end. We guide her back into the barn after a hard day's work, ready to rest up before we do it all again tomorrow. Watching that robot spray a fresh coat of paint is soothing, covering the metal skin in camouflage to hide from prying eyes. She sits there in this quiet hangar looking majestic and ready, a silent guardian waiting patiently for the call to go save lives. We study these squiggly lines on the screen to ensure the vibrations remain low and the ride stays smooth for our brave soldiers. Every single keystroke confirms the numbers are good, locking in the safety of the crew with the steady click of a computer keyboard. Seeing 3 green lights that say nominal is the finest feeling because it means all systems are healthy and ready to go today. These dark exhaust nozzles have breathed fire and handled the heat, channeling the raw power of the turbine engines out into the open air. It takes a gentle touch on the controls and a strong back on the ground to get this heavy machine moving toward the runway. Crossing the threshold into bright sunlight feels like graduation day as the Iron Bird finally leaves the nest to spread its mighty wings. From the pilot's seat, you can feel the rhythm of the blades, a heartbeat of metal that signals it is time to fly high. As the numbers climb higher on the dashboard, the rotor hub becomes a blur of motion, turning fuel into pure vertical lift power. The ground falls away in a storm of dust as the King Stallion asserts its dominance over gravity with a roar that shakes the earth. Up here in the blue, the vibration settles into a steady hum, carrying the hopes and dreams of the folks who built this machine. She cuts through the air like a knife, a testament to American engineering, proving we can build anything we set our minds to doing. Bringing her back down to earth is a gentle affair, the tires kissing the concrete as the blades slow their wild spinning dance. As lights go down in the hangar, we rest easy knowing we built a legend that will serve with honor for decades to come.